The Injustice 2 Platinum Trophy gave me grey hairs. I remember being young before this Platinum Quest started. As most of you know, this game was free with last month's PSN Plus lineup, but for me, it was a game I gave up back in 2017. This is rated as a 4 out of 10 difficulty, so it's a B rank quest in Faruski Clan rating. This was my Platinum number 109. I realized on the last episode the video was about my Platinum 107. That's because between then and now, I popped the FIFA 22 Platinum. It just wasn't worthy of a video, so I didn't make one. Sorry, FIFA. It's not just glory, butterflies, and rainbows though. I also gave up on the Witness from the unfinished backlog. It's not that I wasn't smart enough to platinum it. Actually, it was. I definitely wasn't smart enough. I couldn't understand most of the puzzles, so I had to give up before I got an aneurysm. Which makes this another addition to the Platinum Graveyard. I'm not sorry about this one. Fuck this game. Anyway, back to Injustice. Of course, as this is another backlog game.
How many more games are in your backlog?
I don't know, like 20. This is my, like, backlog clearing arc, okay?
More like a try-hard arc.
As I was saying, because this is a backlog game, it means I had already popped 44 out of the 66 trophies in 2017. But I still needed another trophies for the Platinum. 16 bronze, 1 silver, and 1 gold. Sounds simple enough, right? It wasn't. This game's RNG is more deceiving than getting catfished. The catcall ability is notoriously rare, and you need it for the catfight trophy, which is a bronze trophy. Thanks, NetherRealm. Thanks a lot. Now, there are 2 ways that you can get this trophy as far as I'm aware, but we'll get to that a bit later on. For now, drop my beat. Now keep in mind, I'm not a big fan of fighting games, so this was an absolute slog for me. Of course, as usual, I didn't upload my save back in 2017. Luckily, some of the online progress stayed up in the cloud. Step 1 was to pop all the online trophies. We all know that servers are as fragile as a child's innocence, so I wanted to get them out the way first, just in case the servers close. Since we're talking about online trophies, it's obvious that boosting was inevitable. The legends Deadly CD2K and ZXL came to my aid and are undoubtedly the superheroes of this video. First thing we did was start a King of the Hill session so we could kill each other with hyenas using Harley Quinn to pop the Be Prepared trophy. Next, I won a match with 10% health while my opponent had 90% for the There Can Only Be One Masked trophy, dethroned the King 5 times for the Off With His Head trophy, and voted for the winner 10 times to pop the I Voted trophy. Now, supposedly from this point on, all the other online trophies couldn't be boosted as they involved playing ranked matches. So just like UFC 2, I lost a lot online.
Around me are familiar faces.
My skill level with fighting games is as shameful as Platinum Bros trophy list. Luckily, it means I had more footage for this video. But by some miracle, while I was getting pummeled online, I managed to get matched with ZXL, which of course meant we could resume our boosting. I eventually got 10 online wins and popped the Winning is Fun trophy, even though it popped after 12 wins and not 10. Then for the next couple of days, we managed to get paired once again so we could just beat the living shit out of each other to amass 50 wins for the Don't Stop Me Now trophy, and eventually 200 wins for the A Real Contender trophy, mostly by stomping the floor for 5 hours straight. So once again, just like religion, the power of boosting prevails! Step 2 was to level up all characters to level 20. First thing I did here was finish the battle simulator with all characters to watch their unique endings for the spoiler alert trophy. Now, as expected, as I was working towards level 20 with all the characters, a few of the other miscellaneous trophies I was missing also popped. After collecting 50 pieces of epic gear, I popped the hipster trophy. Then after 100 pieces of rare gear, I popped the what to wear trophy. Reach player level 35 for the feel the power trophy. Collected 200 pieces of common gear for there's my pants trophy. And of course, the master of all trades for reaching level 20 with all characters. As you can imagine, while doing all this, I'd collected more mother boxes and STDs after using the services of a rough neighborhood prostitute. When I opened my 100th, I popped the So Many Presents trophy. And after selling 250 pieces of gear, I popped the Garage Sale trophy. My main priority from this point was to obtain the Catcall ability. By far the most tedious and time-consuming task for me in this game. Every one of you that have this platinum know how much of a pain in the ass this is. Now, like I mentioned in the beginning of the video, as far as I'm aware, there are 2 ways that you can get the catcall ability. The first way is to be lucky enough for it to be a random reward from any of the mother boxes, and then the second method is to complete the Catwoman Legendary Multiverse, which in my case was a guaranteed reward. Now, I'm not sure if this was a guaranteed reward from the start, or if it was just because I'd collected all of the other Catwoman abilities by this point. Either way, I started working towards the ridiculous requirements to unlock the towers in this multiverse. These requirements were truly soul draining. Luckily, I found a method online that involved the AI doing all the work for me whilst I did other things in the meantime, like masturbating. Anyway, for those who don't know, you go into multiplayer, AI battle simulator, customize AI characters, make sure you equip your best gear as well as keep it updated so you're at the best form possible, and then on the AI attributes, make sure you put all your points into combos and counters. This will make your character an absolute beast. Now, the next time you go into the multiverse and select your character, be sure to press square and choose the AI loadout you set up. All you need to do now is relax and press X whenever the match is over, and just watch the AI do all the work for you. Obviously, this is very boring. If you actually enjoy the game, then you're probably better off just doing the fights yourself. This is more for people who just want to do the grind whilst doing other things in the meantime. Now, by the time I started going for these requirements, I'd already used Catwoman for quite a large amount of fights, so the requirements for the first tower had already been met. For the second tower, I needed to perform 150 arena transitions and 3 million damage dealt with Catwoman. For the third tower, I needed to sacrifice 250 pieces of rare gear or better, get 1,000 match victories, defeat 100 opponents with a pounce as the final hit, and have 3,000 minutes played with Catwoman. And then finally, for the final tower, I needed to spend 50,000 guild points. Pretty brutal, right? Anyway, I unleashed the AI and away it went. Not gonna lie, while the AI was doing its thing, I still had a bit of hope that I might get the catcall ability from the mother boxes I was obtaining, but I didn't. I also completed guild events with Catwoman, not only for the points, but because the rewards in the guild mother boxes are usually better than the standard ones. But guess what? Still no catcall. Of course, as I worked towards this, I completed 25 multiverse events for the eventful trophy, and then the pulling overtime trophy for completing 100 of them. This took me weeks upon weeks of fights. It was obvious the RNG gods had abandoned me. I got so fed up with this grind that I started placing bets on who would win the fights. With myself, I had a surprisingly high win ratio. I even managed to convince my wife to press X on the controller while I was out. I regret nothing.
1 hour later.
After a while, I started looking for specific multiverses that gave a random ability as a reward, and I still didn't get catcall.
2,000 years later.
Even after opening what seemed like an infinite supply of mother boxes, still no catcall. Inevitably, I was almost at the end of this journey, or so I thought. After meeting most of the requirements and using Pounce as the final hit 100 times, I still needed another 1,345 minutes played with Catwoman. So I had to go back to working the AI like a 1920s donkey. By this point, I was mostly just targeting the multiverses with a random ability as a reward when they became available, but Catcall was like, nah fam, you're gonna play the whole 3,000 minutes with my girl Catwoman.
1 eternity later.
Finally, after blood, sweat, tears, and a hell of a lot of grey hairs, I finally met the requirements for all the towers. I immediately completed them faster than the rate Platchums collect platinums and obtained the annoying, elusive catcall ability. I then equipped it, fought Cheetah, and used Catcall as a final hit to pop the Catfight trophy, and of course the hard-earned World Destroyer Platinum trophy. It didn't just destroy my world, it annihilated it. Of course, as soon as the platinum was popped, I uninstalled the game from my console faster than a harmless scratch killed Khal Drogo in Game of Thrones. In total, this platinum took me 5 years and 3 months, because I thought I'd given up on it back in the day. Part of me does wish I did leave it as a given up game. But realistically, the trophies I popped throughout this video took me about 4 months, with idle time, of course.